people of Maldives very clearly spoke during this campaign. They have given me a mandate of removing foreign military presence from the Maldives.
Dr. Muizzu, thank you for speaking to me. You've promised to fulfill pledges that you made during the presidential campaign, during the first 100 days of your presidency. What will your key priorities be?
Well, the people of the Maldives, they have decided on a change, a progressive change to the way they would like to see the Maldives going forward. One of the key things that they would like to change in the Maldives is the way the economy is being driven. Our economy is not in a good shape. So one of the key priorities for me during the first 100 days would be to attend to that major issue. And also we have some serious issues regarding the way our foreign policy is outlined, managed at the moment. So I'll be attending to that issue as well, and also to engage the youth and the women in nation building, involving them and giving them the opportunity to empower them, especially in driving our economy as well. During my campaign, I saw that there was a sense of disengagement between the government and the people, and they want this to be changed in the countries.
Talk to me about the value of trust for political office holders in a democracy as young as yours.
Well, that's crucial. I think during the campaign I found that the undecided voters, if you call them, who don't belong to any political parties, those who sit back and they want to see a meaningful change happening in the country. There was so much distrust between them and the way the politicians were handling the issues. They don't engage or think about how the citizens of these islands want them to be looked after. And when I went to these islands, I found that, for example, the development projects that are ongoing or that are supposed to be ongoing are not being addressed the way they want it to be going on. There are so many issues like this. So they lost the trust. They said, we are not being heard of. There is a big issue of distrust, and it's very important, especially for a young democracy like the Maldives, which is, very well educated, to be honest. The mass population of the Maldives is highly educated, locally and internationally. We have traveled to different areas of the world to do higher education from the west to the east. And they know how the things are happening in the world as well, and they wanted to be progressing in that route. So they trusted me a lot on what I've pledged to them during the campaign. They want to see a government that is transparent, accountable, and engaging with the people. I'm even currently the mayor of Maldives City, and during my roughly 2.5 years as the mayor, people trusted me the way I've engaged with them. I personally went to their homes as part of my job. And I've told them during the campaign that even if they elect me for the presidency post to be representing them for the whole country, I plan to try my best to be, reaching out to them physically, not only through the system, but even reaching them out. And I think they value that pledge from me a lot. I think it's very important for the Maldives, which is a very young democracy that needs to be very carefully attended to.
What I hear you say, Dr. Muizzu, is you want to be a president for the people.
Definitely.
Of the Maldives. Part of that narrative has been this issue of wanting a certain group of Indian troops out of the country.
Yes.
A lot has been said about this in the media, and conclusions have been drawn about the meaning of it, because India is such an important neighbor and friend, trading partner, historical trading partner and friend of the Maldives. What do you say, and how would you respond to the speculation that what was being termed as India out, or India's military out, was just rhetoric, was just suspicion?
Well, India will continue to be our close friend. We will have close relationship bilaterally in all the fronts, economically, socially. You know, we have close ties, historical ties between the two countries. India is our closest neighbor, and the cultural ties are there as well. It is a fact, and it will remain as a fact. We don't have any issues with the Indian people per se, and we are very close to them. Our people travel to India a lot for various reasons, especially for medical purposes. This deep-rooted connection, the resilience in our bond between India and Maldives will be the key in solving this particular issue you have just mentioned about the Indian military troops being present in the Maldives. It happens to be an unfortunate situation, and because of the way this current government, which is coming to an end, dealt with regarding our foreign policy. This has never been the case like this ever before, and the people of Maldives very clearly spoke during this campaign. They have given me a mandate of removing foreign military presence from the Maldives. Whether it's India or any other country, doesn't matter to us. And at the moment, I don't know the number of military personnel in the Maldives. There are different reports. And even during this transition period, we got different documents mentioning different numbers. So when my administration starts officially, I think I'll come to know of the actual number as well. Even right now, during this transition period, engaging with the Indian government, I've met a few times with the High Commission of India stationed in the Maldives. And we have had a very good, cordial couple of meetings, and they really appreciate what we are talking about. It's just a matter of security, and over the years, we never had this kind of military personnel being stationed here. We need assistance, of course. Even in the military area, we need assistance to strengthen our military. And for other reasons as well, we need assistance from India and other countries as well. But without having a certain number of people from the military coming to the country and stationing themselves in the country for carrying out these projects, the people have drawn a line.
What's remarkable to hear is the lack of transparency in even knowing how many sort of Indian troops may be there. I mean, we've seen the number 75, but as you say, it could be more. That lack of transparency, is that something that, as president of the Maldives, you want to be able to tackle, to be able to demonstrate to your people that you are going to be a transparent and an inclusive president?
Definitely. For me, I think to gain the trust of the people, you have to be transparent. And I told the people that all the government ministries and officers will be open for questioning, gaining information, and I will make sure that our system is such that nobody will have to complain about not knowing about what's going on. And I think to gain this trust, to build our young democracy, it's very important that the government should be transparent. It should be accountable. And even I pledge to the media itself that I will engage the media quite a lot. So yes, transparency is one of the keystones in making our country the way the people of the Maldives wants us to be.
You say that you want to be pro-Maldives. That's a neutral stance. Can you truly be neutral in this world where we are seeing these spheres of geopolitical influence begin to be very clearly defined?
Well, for us, for the Maldives, it is very important that we have good, close ties with all the countries, small and big. Yes, it's very important, and I will make sure that we stand firm on this. That's my policy going ahead. I'm definitely very keen on making sure that the Maldives gets the maximum benefit out of this fact. And yes, I'm pro Maldives, and because I believe that we are too small a nation to be entangled in this so-called geopolitical fight between bigger nations. We geographically stand almost in the middle between Africa and Southeast Asia, and all the sea lines of communication goes through or near the Maldives, and for us as well, like other bigger countries, it's very important this remains safe, and we want to be involved, not just as an observer, but involved in the discussions that go ahead by the leading countries, and making sure that the maritime security is ensured, and we want to be part of that for us as well, like just as other bigger countries, and we don't want to be siding with any particular country. For us, bilateral relations is based on mutual trust and mutual respect without interference with internal affairs. And this is, I think, the international standard that has to be followed, and for us it is very important. And we will have very good close relationship, and I really look forward for that with all the countries that respect this principle.
So what I hear you say, Dr. Muizzu, is that you do have bilateral ties with many countries. There are defense ties as well. You don't need any one specific power to guarantee the defense of the Maldives?
We don't need that, and we need assistance from all the powers in building our military, in building our economy, in making the Maldives and the Indian Ocean safe. And I think this is the way forward, and it will be only beneficial for all the parties involved, only if this is the way that we choose to go ahead with.
So zero tolerance for
Definitely
corruption?
It has to be, and I'll make sure that it is practiced that way.
Another campaign message that you had was to tackle corruption within the country. What do you plan to do to tackle corruption? Because you have also said that it is one of your priorities as president.
Yes, it is, and it will be, and I'll make sure that it is practically addressed too. Because for the government to gain the trust of the people, it is vital. And for even our democracy to shine, it's very important that we put our maximum effort to make the government clean. The way we go about with our business of running the government should be very transparent. You know, the people, the public, the media should be able to understand, know about the different projects we carry out, how the procedure of, let's say, tendering out certain projects is being done, all the details. This is where the trust is lost. We hear about big projects and so on being awarded, and nobody knows how it's been done, and we don't see these projects going on. You see a lot of agreements being signed, but you physically don't see them being implemented in the country. And we see the number of the public spending from the public account every month, every quarter of the year being published, and we see so much being spent, but it's not actually affecting positively to the lives of the people. And also the independent commission, especially the anti-corruption commission, they should be properly independent without being always under the pressure of government or political influence.
So zero tolerance for
Definitely
corruption?
It has to be, and I'll make sure that it is practiced that way.
You've also said that an impartial judiciary is the cornerstone of what you want for your government. Tell me something about that. Why there is this perception that the judiciary is not impartial?
Well, you can see the way it is structured right now. The laws needs to be changed. The Judicial Service Commission, which is the key body that defines how the judiciary is run, is where you need to address to. You don't need to have political figures running the Judicial Service Commission.
Economic reform is something that your country needs
Definitely.
quite deeply. You have a debt crisis looming. How concerned are you about that?
Very concerned, because there's a lot of debt payments that issues that has to be solved in the next couple of years. I've already started on finding options, means of how to settle this, and I think we can. One of the areas that I want to, and I've already started on, is the early completion of the main international airport, Velana Airport, which is under construction, which has been under construction for 5 years now, and the current government didn't give enough attention to complete this on time. It's now scheduled to finish not even next year, the year after that, in 2025, mid-2025. And I'm trying my best, I'm going to do my best to talk with all the stakeholders to speed it up, to finish, let's say, 8-10 months ahead for next year's high tourism season in November, December, and it's going to be a big challenge. But that's the gateway for economic expansion for the Maldives, because we have got so many resorts that are under construction. There is a loss of confidence in the economic sector of the Maldives because of the way it's going on right now. The credit rating agencies didn't favor us too much, and I think with this airport early completion and also attending to our debt issue, and also the way the fiscal policies are managed, are properly addressed, I think we'll start to be going on the right track, and maybe during the first year itself we'll see the investor confidence coming back, and also our tourism expanding. Our fishery sector, definitely we will put a lot of effort to expand, because there's a lot of potential in that. We have got a big economic exclusive zone which is not tapped by our fisheries sector.
There are many similarities between the Maldives and where we sit right now here in Singapore. Our ties have grown steadily over the decades, and I'm talking about well back to the 1970s. It's an important national development partnership that the Singapore and the Maldives have. What areas of opportunity are you looking forward to in further engagement in this region?
I think we have good relationship, especially on the trade side. I think we have been having very good, close relationship on this. And a lot of Singaporean investors have already invested and got a lot of tourism businesses going on, a lot of resorts being developed by many Singaporean investors. And I really want to see this expanding. A lot of opportunities are there in our economic manifesto. For example, I want to open the country for special economic zones to be invested in. There's a law that was passed 5 years ago in the previous government for these special economic zones, but the current government didn't practice it. It didn't open the country for investments to establish economic zones. For us to go ahead, I think it's very important. I think Singapore can play a vital role in this, for example, in this area of economic development.
Final question for you, Dr. Muizzu. The youth of your country, of any country, they also have to feel hopeful about the future. And we are staring climate change in the face and the threats that it poses. At the next climate conference at COP28, which is coming up soon, the issue of loss and damage for small island nations may be on the table again in terms of where we are with operationalizing it, how countries such as your own, who are very much at risk of climate threats, can be helped perhaps. What progress do you hope to see in terms of what we will see at COP28
Well, COP28 is coming, as you said, end of November, I think, and I plan to attend to this. I want to take part of this in this conference because for the Maldives, climate change is a very important issue that needs to be addressed to. This is the 28th time the world leaders are coming together talking about climate change, but not enough action. This inaction speaks louder than the words. I hope that inaction changes to action starting from 28th COP conference. The Maldives is very much, subject to a lot of climate change issues, which is very evident from the way we can see, for example, our corals, severe bleaching of corals across the country is there. Every coral that's bleaching needs to be paid for. That's what we believe in, by those countries that emit CO2, the emitters of the world. They need to, pay for this damage that's happening to the Maldives, not from our action, from others. So we hope that enough attention will be given financially and technology-wise to help us adapt to various issues of climate change. I will definitely stand with all the small island development states in voicing our concern. We need climate justice to be established once and for all. And I think UAE, the host, is playing a very good role in this. But I think we should be able to be heard once again. I mean, hopefully this is going to be the time that we get this assistance, this focus that has been long promised. Yes, I really look forward for this.
Dr. Muizzu, thank you very much.
Thank you.